At 19 years old, I had never seen £1,000 in my life. I'd never made money, I'd never had a following, I didn't understand what getting rich even was. My parents grew up on a council estate, I grew up very working class, and I had no idea you could even make large sums of money. By 23, I had a business that was doing 7 figures a year in revenue, over £1 million in revenue every single year, and today I run one of the biggest marketing agencies in Manchester. It's been a massive transformation, and one of the questions you might have is, how in the world did you get there? Well, ironically, it wasn't through going viral on TikTok or suddenly meeting up with some billionaire friend or getting an amazing network. It was through one simple platform that every other founder I meet seems to be overlooking, and that is LinkedIn. And as embarrassing as it sounds that my whole business was built off the back of posting and using LinkedIn as a marketing channel, that is the reality. But it's also a massive opportunity. And the question you should be asking is, what playbook did this guy use to generate so much revenue and build such a business directly through a platform that some people see as a job site? Well, this video is exactly that. I'm going to walk you through my exact playbook from zero to today of how I use LinkedIn to build a multi-million-pound business. Let's get into it. Let's start with the question of why in the world did I pick LinkedIn? Well, first of all, you have to understand what LinkedIn is. So over the last 3 or 4 years, a lot more people have been posting content on LinkedIn. And people have started to see LinkedIn as a social media platform. They think it's like the B2B social media platform or the corporate social media platform. And they're comparing it to like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever other social media platforms are out there nowadays. But LinkedIn is inherently not built as a social media platform. It's built as a networking platform. So what it means is they're trying to get people to talk to other people, buyers to talk to sellers, recruiters to talk to candidates. The platform is built to help you talk to people. And from a business perspective, it is a lead generation goldmine. They literally want you to get in contact with your target audience. That is what the platform is built for. And when I understood that reframe, that's when the entire business changed, my entire life changed, all because I understood that LinkedIn was there to help me get in touch with other people. So I completely pivoted my marketing strategy and started to double down on LinkedIn and using the platform to try and get in touch with people who could buy from me, potential customers. And while everyone else on the platform was using it for one of two reasons, one, as a job site, posting the classic corporate update, like happy to start my new role at this company, and the other side was using it as a social media platform, posting videos like it was TikTok, I was doing the complete opposite. Before I get into the system, let's dive a little bit deeper into how the platform operates. So if you haven't been on LinkedIn in a while, there's a few different things and aspects of LinkedIn that you need to understand. The first thing, as you go on LinkedIn on the homepage, you have a feed. And on that feed, you'll see posts from a bunch of different people in your network. The way the LinkedIn algorithm works is essentially the people you are connected to, it will show you their content, but it might also show you content of your connections that they're engaging on. So for example, let's say I was connected with you and I was liking my friend Jack's content, you might see Jack's content on your feed as well. So that's the first kind of marketing channel you can use in LinkedIn, is content as a distribution channel, as a way to get your message and share your business with your contacts and your network. The second thing you need to understand is the connection request. So LinkedIn, I think, is the only platform on the planet that has these two-way connections. So when I send out a connection request, if they accept it, they're then added into my network, almost like it used to be back in the day on Facebook with friend requests. I'm not sure if it's the same anymore. Now, this is really key from a business perspective, because I can send out connections to my target audience, and if they accept, I won't just see their content. Like if I followed them on Instagram, I would just see their content. On LinkedIn, if they accept the connection request, they then see my content. So the second pillar that's really important about how LinkedIn as a platform is built is these connection requests. I'm able to add my ICP, my ideal customers, into my network. And then the third aspect, which is massively overlooked, is the DM function. So you can click on messages and you can reach out to people in your network. Particularly, there's 2 ways to reach out to people. You can do messages to your connections. So anyone you're connected with, you can message directly. And secondly, you can do in-mails. I don't think enough people talk about this, but with in-mails, you can literally reach out to anyone on the planet virtually on LinkedIn. So I can find a CEO of $1 billion company and send them a message that will pop up in their inbox. Like, just think about how crazy that is from a business perspective. And again, how no one's talking about it online as if it's anything crazy. But the real value is when you combine the 3 together. When you're using content to distribute your message and the marketing of your business, when you're using connections to add your ideal customers, your ideal prospects into your network, and then you're using the messaging function to start conversations at scale. Now let's get into how you do it. This right here is what we call the LinkedIn pyramid. It's how you approach LinkedIn from a fundamental level from the ground up. And it all starts with level 1, which is positioning. So it's easy to get excited at this stage and think, okay, great, Niall's talking that you can generate millions and millions on LinkedIn. Let's start sending messages, let's start sending connections. But you have to start with positioning. And when we think about positioning, I'm talking about your profile on LinkedIn. So if you go on your profile right now, there's many different aspects of it. The first thing you'll see is your banner at the top. You'll see your profile photo, and then you'll see your headline. That's almost at the top of it. If you think about a landing page on a website, the top of your LinkedIn profile is like the headline and the first page that pulls up when you click on a website. And it is vital that you optimize the hell out of that section of your LinkedIn profile in particular. There's a few key things we focus on. The first one is just looking the part. So have a professionally graphic designed banner. If you look at mine, I have key brands we've worked with for credibility. I have a clear outcome that we provide. And it's all color coded in our brand pack. So if you see my headshot is also aligned with the banner as well, and it all looks professional and branded. You'll also notice that my headshot is professionally taken. It is so underrated. If you can't afford a photo shoot though, you can literally use AI, use an iPhone, take a photo of your head next to a white background, and you can put it in a tool like ChatGPT, and it'll even put you in a suit with professional lighting. It's very, very good nowadays, and you need a professional headshot for LinkedIn. And the reason this is so important is when someone drops on your profile, within about 2 to 3 seconds, they're going to make a judgment on you. So our client base is full of CEOs and founders that run 7, 8, even 9-figure companies. We have $2 billion companies on the roster. When their leadership team come and check out myself or any of our team, they're instantly going to think, do I trust these guys? Will I pay them thousands of pounds every single month? And if you haven't positioned your profile correctly, then you're going to massively slip up there. Once you've upgraded your banner and your headshot, you need to start looking at your headline. There's 3 things I want to get out of a headline. You need to show what you do, who you do it for, and the outcome you provide. So for us, we are for B2B businesses, we're a LinkedIn specialist B2B marketing agency, and the outcome we provide is we get our clients noticed by their ICP. If I then show you my top of my LinkedIn profile, you can see it's perfectly positioned. You can see the outcome that we provide for clients, you can see who we do it for B2B businesses, and you can see some examples of credibility as well alongside that, which massively helps amplifying. There's other things you can do on your LinkedIn profile as well. I'm not going to dive into them in this video, but your about section is a great way to showcase who you are, what you're about, and the things you want to do for people. Then you also have your featured section, which is arguably the most underrated part of a LinkedIn profile. You can see in mine, I have some resources so that they can take a next step and check out more about what we do and even get more credibility that we're the right agency for them to work with. Now, level 2 on the pyramid is all about content. And I think this is where people get carried away. So there's this myth that LinkedIn gurus often sell you that content is the silver bullet, that if you just post more content on LinkedIn, that all your problems will be solved. You'll get these inbound leads coming in and that'll fuel your business into the future and you'll become a millionaire. But that's really not the case. And generally speaking, the people telling you that you'll get all these inbound leads, people with hundreds of thousands of followers. I currently have 60,000 followers on LinkedIn. I maybe get 1 to 2 inbound leads in my DMs every week. We work with clients that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Even them might only get 5 to 10 inbound leads every single week in their DMs. It's not enough to fuel the growth of a business. And when I say an inbound lead as well, like I'm saying I get 1 or 2 a week, maybe 1 in 4 might turn into a client. So you might not get a client every single week relying on inbound leads. And that's with 60,000 followers. Imagine if you have 300 followers or 0, you're just starting on the platform. So don't buy into this idea that content is a silver bullet. Instead, we see content as fishing. So as I mentioned before when I was explaining the platform, when you put out a piece of content, it'll put it out on the feed and it'll show it to your connections. So in the next step, I'm going to talk about how you add connections to your network. But just imagine for now that you have connections of all the people that could possibly work with. You have billion-dollar CEOs, massive brands, heads of marketing, whatever you're trying to target, they are in your network. And now you have the ability to hit post and get marketing material out to them. And that is what you have to understand. When you're posting content, you're trying to get a message into their hands. But you're also trying to figure out is if the person you're getting it to is interested in what you are doing. And that's the key that people miss. This is not TikTok. We're not trying to go viral. We're not trying to get millions of views. We don't care about that. We're trying to drive revenue into the business. So how is content like fishing? So for example, we are a LinkedIn specialist B2B agency and we're going after B2B businesses. Generally, we'll talk to CMOs, heads of marketing, CEOs as well. And let's say I put a post about how we helped an engineering firm book a meeting with Walmart, Kroger, General Electric, CAT, one of our recent case studies. I might put out that post. and that post might only get 1,000 impressions and 54 likes. But the key, what you need to be thinking about content as, is I'm putting it out there, I'm putting my line in the water, I'm just seeing who's interested, I'm seeing who engages, who views my profile afterwards, who's commenting on it, and that's the key of any post. For example, I might see, a head of marketing at another engineering firm or manufacturing firm has liked it, I'm going to reach out to them. So I'm putting the content out there, not to get views, impressions and likes, I'm putting it out there just to see who raises their hand. And that's what I like to think of it. Every piece of content is a hand raiser. I'm trying to get someone to see the content, show some interest, and show me that they are interested in our business. So when I'm approaching content, I stick to 3 or 4 content pillars. The first one is my personal story, so they can connect with me on a personal level and understand who I am. The second one is utility content, so content that is massively useful. For example, me explaining exactly how we do LinkedIn outreach for engineering firms. The third one will be case studies. I'll do case study stories though. So a case study on its own feels very salesy, but I'll put out case study posts, which is, for example, that could be 12 months ago, we took on a hospitality brand for the first time. We were a little bit nervous about it. We'd never worked with a hospitality brand. 3 months later, we got these results. So I'm wrapping up in a story to make it more interesting. And the fourth thing, which is also underrated, is documenting the journey. So we have a growing agency. We just moved into a brand new office in Manchester, and I'll document that journey again so that my connections in my network can see the business growing and engage and follow along as we go. And the next level is outreach, which is the most exciting for me. And outreach starts, ironically, not by sending messages, but starting with what we call intent triggers. So I kind of spoiled it in the content section, but LinkedIn has amazing analytics. Again, this is built as a networking business platform. So they build analytics for business people, and some of them are incredible. For example, when you go through your likes on LinkedIn, you can click on it and see the entire profile, what company they work at. You have profile views inside your analytics, so you can see which people are viewing your profile. You've got search appearances, so you can see which companies are searching and clicking on you or your business. These are massive signals of potential customers that you can work with. And when you want to start outreach, you start everything with intent. So for example, over the last 30 days, I posted 20 posts on LinkedIn. Fantastic. In that time, I got 1,000 engagements. That is 1,000 potential prospects that my business could work with. So what we do is we use AI to go through all of the posts that I put out on LinkedIn. We get that list of 1,000 engagers, put it into a tool called Clay. Clay is like an Excel spreadsheet on steroids, which has AI built in, and we're able to filter out people who aren't in our ICP. So my uncle that's liked a LinkedIn post, and instead we'll just focus solely on our ICP. So heads of marketing, CMOs, CEOs at B2B companies. But if you're not technical and you don't want to use AI or any tools, you can do this manually. So literally when we first started, I would go through my LinkedIn engagers, I would go through my profile views, and every day I would pick out 3 to 5 people in our ICP. Manually, I would literally click on their profile, drag it into a new tab and say, okay, that's a prospect that I need to reach out to. When it comes to outreach, there's a clever way to do it and there's a simple way to do it. The simple way to do it is once you've dragged those profiles into another tab, you click on message. If you're not connected, you can click add a connection, and then you can click add a message to the connection. And what you want to do is use a conversation starter. The difference between a classical outreach script and a conversation starter is an outreach script is often built around a pitch. So you're pitching something to them and you're sending in a message. What we focus on is simply starting the conversation. The outcome you're looking for is just that they reply and start a conversation. You can worry about converting it into a sale later. So for example, if you found someone who engaged on your LinkedIn content, a perfect conversation starter is, hi, I saw you engage on my post around whatever topic the post was. Is that something you're chatting about internally? Or, hi, so you've been engaging on my content recently, is there anything I can help you with? If they've been viewing your profile, do the same thing. Hi, I saw you view my profile recently, is there anything I can help with? Or for example, my profile is all around LinkedIn. I could say, hi, saw you view my profile, is LinkedIn something you're chatting about internally right now? These are really simple ways to start a conversation. Super casual, and oftentimes one will reply with one of two things. They'll say, yes, you can help me, here's our situation. Or two, they'll say, no, I'm just enjoying the content. And you can say, great, you keep them in your network, but they're not a prospect for now. The clever way looks like this. With a tool like Clay, you can go through the data that you've pulled, who's been engaging on your content or viewing your profile. You're able to use AI to personalize the messages to each person. So for example, let's say the CMO of an engineering firm in Ireland reaches out to me. I can personalize the message to say, hi, I know as a CEO in Ireland, it can be very, very tough to get this outcome on LinkedIn. We actually work with another engineering firm in Ireland and got these results. it might be interesting for us to chat. Something along those lines, and you can see how I've personalized every single aspect of it, and AI will do that automatically at scale. When it comes to outreach, we aim to reach out to at least 2,000 prospects every month. On LinkedIn, you're limited to about 20 to 30 messages every day, depending on your SSI score. We won't get into that now, but you can Google what an SSI score is on LinkedIn and how you can increase it. Generally speaking, it's how spammy your profile is. But most profiles will be able to do 20 to 30 messages a day, which works out to about 600 a month. So you really want to get 2 or 3 profiles doing this to get to that 2,000 mark. But if you're just doing it on your own, 600 is enough. Just make sure they work for you and make sure every message is as good as it possibly can be and you are reaching out to the right people. Now, level 4 is ads, and this is almost like a no-go zone for 99% of people watching this video. People think ads, you just pay to get an ad out there and then you get customers back. That is not how ads work. Ads are very, very tough and they are very, very expensive on LinkedIn. So much so that I'm not even going to talk about them in this video. There's some amazing things you can do with ads on LinkedIn, but they are very, very expensive and that required a whole other video to talk about ad strategies. For now, just focus on level 1, 2, and 3. Once you've mastered those and you have a multi-million pound enterprise, then you can start to look at LinkedIn ads. For now, just touch on 1, 2, and 3 of the pyramid. At this stage of the video, I want to be honest. Nothing I've said today has been innovative or massively crazy, or I've got some proprietary tech. I'm a normal guy, I come from a normal family. There's nothing massively special I'm doing on LinkedIn. In fact, there are thousands of other people doing a very similar thing to me and getting similar results. But that is why it's so important. LinkedIn is set up as a massive opportunity right now. There are 65 million decision makers on LinkedIn. There are 10 million people on LinkedIn in a C-suite position, so a CEO, a CFO. And the platform is built to help you talk to them. Let me say that again. There are 65 million decision makers in businesses that could be paying you, and the platform is built to help you talk directly to them. It is a massive opportunity, and they literally are helping you sign clients. All you need to do is follow the simple system I outlined to you. It is not special, it is simple, and it is very, very realistic. Position your profile, make you and your company look like an authority. Explain who you are, what you do, and the outcome you provide. Then get to content, use it to distribute your marketing messages to the exact people you want to talk to and go after. Then start posting content. Use it as a distribution channel. Get your marketing messages out to the people that you think you can work with. And once you do that, start tracking intent signals. Start tracking exactly who's engaging, viewing your profile, who is in that network that might be interested in working with you. And then go outbound. Start the conversations. Do outreach. Don't just pitch them in the DMs. Try and find ways to personalize it. If you're doing it manually, have a look through their profile. What are the things they're talking about? What content are they engaging in? And then personalize that message directly to them. And then once you're there, once you're mastering it, just watch how many leads come to you. We will do 1 million in sales directly through LinkedIn this year. That is a massive revenue driver for us as a business, and it can be for you as well. Whether you want to make 100,000 this year from LinkedIn, or £1 million, or £10 million, that is all very, very possible just for the first 3 layers of the LinkedIn pyramid. So please take LinkedIn seriously and go and take this strategy and apply it for you and your business. That being said, this video took literally hours to plan, prep, record, not to mention all the information in it. So if you did enjoy, just like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed in the video, just say that you watched it. And then please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting way more content around marketing on LinkedIn and how to drive leads through the platform. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this far. I shall see you in the next video.